Hey guys, Jessica here. So today we're going to be talking about hard plastic flanges and inserts and which option you might want to consider. We're not even going to start digging into the world of specialty silicone flanges like the pumpables or the Lactec, the Bear Shields, the Idaho Jones. We're going to leave those for their own videos because those are completely separate products. But hard plastic flanges are what come with the vast majority of breast pumps, and they typically come in between a 24 to a 28, depending on the pump. Some will have two. Some are now starting to come down with a 21, but very few come with anything smaller than that. So your hard plastic flanges are likely not the right size for you. If you don't believe me, you can click the link below to my flange sizing page. We have a little calculator that you can just throw your numbers in. It'll tell you how to measure. You just toss them in there and you can get a rough range. If you want more detailed information about your flange sizing, I do have like an advanced flange sizing calculator that you're going to take very specific measurements, enter several different criteria, and it's going to spit out exactly what you would get if you were working with me as a starting point. But in terms of hard plastic flanges plus inserts, let's talk about the pros and cons of each one. So, pro of the hard plastic flanges is they tend to have less issues for elasticity. They are easily obtained between 10 to 36 millimeters. So, almost everybody will have a hard plastic flange out there in their size. They tend to have less issues in terms of parts to clean. They're going to be more durable. And I typically see that moms do better with hard plastic flanges than they do with hard plastic flanges with inserts. The advantages of inserts are one, most of them are a soft silicone material, which can be more comfortable. They're very cost effective. Buying a new set of flanges is going to run you between $15 to $45 depending on the brand. Buying a set of inserts is going to be about 10 to 18 to 20 depending on the brand, with most of them being on the lower end. So this is far more cost effective. And given that we know that you change flange sizes several times during your pumping journey, most moms are going to see that you're at your largest right after you have your baby. You're going to shift again about 10 to 14 weeks, again at 6 weeks, again at 12 weeks, and then kind of every 3 months after. Now, not everybody has a sizing shift, but those are when we typically see that the vast majority of sizing shifts occur. So you want to watch. Some people shift really fast and they change it every early thing. Other people, it really doesn't start to shift until they back off of the exclusive milk production. So but it changes over time. If you pump for 1 year, you can expect to change sizes at least 2 to 3 times. If you pump for longer, definitely more often. If you're using a constant suction pump, like the Willow generation pump, so your Willow 3.0, your Willow 360, or even the Tommy Tippy wearable, you could find that you shift even more often because you're shifting by millimeter instead of by about every two. So these are more cost effective, but here's what we see. You put this in here and it now does reduce the tunnel size. But we have issues with very rarely do we get inserts that are a true good solid fit. There's often a little bit of wiggle room. If there is no wiggle room, it's often compressing the insert just slightly so that can modify the insert tunnel in terms of shape or size. There's now a texture difference, so we sometimes get irritation on the areola. This is a good example of one that comes out a little bit further. Some are like the legendary inserts and they come out the whole way. Others have a very narrow rim. It's also compromising your length. So typically inserts are going to be shorter than your actual flange tunnel. So if you have elasticity, this may not be the best solution for you. So which one are you going to choose? It really is going to come down to your situation. A lot of moms do just fine with inserts. If you put inserts in your size and you're not having any issues, by all means continue using them. If you are using inserts and you're not seeing the milk production that you want, if you're having issues with elasticity, if you have pain, you have nipple damage, irritation, then it might be time to look at an appropriately fitted hard plastic flange. All in all, I think hard plastic flanges in your proper size are going to be far more effective. These are going to be a little bit less effective, but they're going to be more cost effective. So you might compromise a little bit of milk output. And when we're talking about milk output, we're talking about maybe 5 to 10%. We're not talking about a huge amount. But if you're a just enougher or a low supplier, that 10% could be huge to you. So it might be worth considering. But this is really going to be a matter of, if you are working with a professional like myself or anybody at my team at Genuine Lactation, we may look at your situation with your flange sizing and recommend, hey, you would do better with hard plastic flanges. Or we may say, I don't see any reason that you couldn't use an insert, and then we can do something a little bit more cost effective. We're going to base our recommendations on your unique anatomy. When you're choosing for yourself and using the DIY route, It's just something to consider that if you're not getting the results with one, it might be worth trying the other. And as always, if you're having pain, don't assume that, there isn't anything that we can adjust. If you're having pain, something is not right and we need to, you know, definitely consider that flange sizing, insert that flange size, the flange shape, all the different things that could go into causing your pain so we can find a solution for you to pump comfortable. So hopefully that helps you understand why we sometimes recommend one setup versus another and how unique it is to the individual and your pumping situation. So let me know if you have any questions, and if you're struggling with this, please feel free to reach out and we can always book you for professional sizing and take a lot of the headache out of sizing for you very quickly. So hope that helps and happy pumping.